Welcome to another instructional video brought to you by Stefani Entertainment, where we bring good music to life. First off, I'd like to get the credits out of the way. I've been a sound engineer for about 12 years, but my bread and butter is IT, which I've been doing for the last 45. I've been using the M32C with the DL32 stage box for less than 3 months and learning basically where everything is and how to get around quickly. My first credit goes out to Howard Tomlinson, who has over 5 years of experience with the M32 consoles, who I met on a Facebook Midas M32 professional users forum. He took the time to private message me and understand and resolve my issue, which I will get to shortly. The second credit goes out to Douglas Allen, who also gave me some ideas and put me in the right direction. The third credit goes to Patrick Gillis-Mallow, who developed an app to extract and stitch the multi-track WAV files together from a recorded session, saving me many hours of work. So here's the situation and what this video today will be about. I was attempting to overdub my wife's vocals from a live gig. She had a cold and didn't like her recorded vocals. I was trying to solve two issues. One, how to dub her vocals with the least interaction with my DAW, and two, how to record to the XLive SD card to save for a virtual sound check going forward. First off, let's start with the routing section. You really need to take the time to understand the routing on the M32. Once you understand routing concepts, it will make your life much easier. Let's look at the routing section in detail. On the Routing Inputs tab, also known as Home on the M32 consoles, you can see that my source for recording is my XLive card for channels 1 through 24 and 25 through 32 for my DL32 stage box. Just so you know, this routing screen isn't card specific, so it could be your built-in KTDN32 USB as well. Also, since the M32C doesn't have physical auxiliary input channels, I am mapping these from the AES50 channels A1 and 2 on my DL32 stage box. Using the aux-in remap will limit you to only recording to the USB 2-track recorder and not the XLive SD card. Since the M32 channels are broken into 8-channel blocks, in order to record to the XLive SD card, you will need a contiguous block of 8 channels that are unused. Since my original scene has had a channel used in each of the 4 8-channel blocks, I had to rearrange my channels to free up an unused block of 8. The next tab in the routing section is the Card Output tab. This tab can be a bit confusing. The easiest way to remember this is to think about the source. In this configuration, the source output, A25 through 32, on the DL32 stage box is going to the card, and the card output 1 through 24 is going to the card. The latter part does sound confusing, but if you think about it, the card source is a USB interface, which is my DAW, and the card destination is the XLive SD card. To understand this a bit clearer, let's look at the recorder section. You can see that the playback section is set for USB interface, which means the source is my DAW, and the destination is based on the channel routing section, which is set to automatic and toggles the routing input, also known as Home on the M32 consoles. One last thing is the channel config section. I plugged my wife's studio mic into channel 25 on the DL32. I then remapped it so that the source is A25 going to channel 2. If you don't have an XLive card or an unused 8-channel block, and based on what you configured in your aux-in remap of the routing input section, I could map aux2 to A2, and record to the USB recorder as a 2-track recording. Unfortunately, there is no way to route to the auxiliary channels from the auxiliary channels to the XLive SD card. Now, I've just started playing back from my DAW, and you can see that based on the routing that the appropriate channels are being played back, except for channel 2, which is coming from A25 on the DL32 stage box. You can see here in the vocal here. Check, check. Once I click record, now on the SD side of things, if I click record here, now I'm going to get A25 and recorded from my DAW, both together. And I can save that as my virtual sound check. I can adjust my levels accordingly. My name is Gio, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave your questions or comments below. Thanks for watching. And I'll leave you with a final mix down.
Understand that the touch of your hand makes my pulse react, that it's only that thrill of boy meeting girl, opposites attract. It's physical, only logical. You must try to ignore that it means more than that. Oh, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? It may seem to you that I'm acting confused when you're close to me. If I tend to look dazed, I've read it someplace, I've got cause to be. There's a name for it, there's a phrase for it, but whatever the reason, you do it for me. What's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken now? I've been taking on a new direction, but I have to say, I've been thinking about my own protection. Scares me to feel this way. Ooh, yeah, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a sweet old-fashioned notion? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken now? What's love got to do with it? Got to do. What's love got to do with it? What's love got to do with it? Yeah. What's love got to do with it? Yeah.